What's up? This is our little podcast that we're doing now. I got Zach here with me. You're going to see him pretty much in every video. We got Corey. Why don't you introduce yourself?
I'm Corey. I'm 34. Lived in Chillicothe all my life. Struggled a lot, man. I caused a lot of chaos in that world, for real. No bull crap.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of my addiction problems, man, that came along, man, was from the torture I went through as a young kid. That my dad put me through. That's even with all the raping, the beatings, lot of crazy activities that went in that basement.
When did that?
When did that all start?
That started when I was 8.
That's a detrimental age.
It went from 8 to 16 years old. What happened was, before that, he was okay dad. He actually was supportive. He was there. He worked and everything else. But when we moved to Chillicothe, because I lived in Frankfurt. I was born in Chillicothe, but I was raised in Frankfurt on Shealy Run Road. And everything was fine. Everything was great. You know, he worked for Rumpke. He was a good dad. My mom, she was a nurse at the time and everything. And then when we moved to Chillicothe, my dad got an opportunity to be a surgical doctor. So we went to Chillicothe. And the house that we moved in, it was built in 1918, something of that nature. It was really, really old historical house. And I felt evil presence in that house anyways, automatically. When we had dinner at the kitchen table, we literally hear a loud bang that's coming from upstairs. And nobody's upstairs.
Right.
Not a single soul. And one day he investigated, and he went up in the attic. And he never came back down for about 6-7 hours. And when he came back, his whole demeanor changed. He came down and started beating me. Started punching me and hit me.
That same day or
yeah,
just...
the same day.
That was...
Well, once he came down, because I was looking for him. And I was asking him, hey, are we going to the park? And exactly when I said that, he just started punching me for no reason.
That was your first memory of when things started going downhill with your relationship with your dad?
Yeah. And then after that, I think a few months later after that, I turned 8 years old. And after that, it just changed. The whole thing changed. He was more down in the basement more than anything. You know, working on stuff. And we was not allowed down there. And then one day he told me to come down there, and I went down there, and he tied me in a chair and started beating the hell out of me.
So would you say now that the clarity that you have, would you say that you would think that your dad was influenced by a demonic
Could have.
Influence or spirit?
I do sense that. I do feel that. And I took Jack's opinion. He's like, hey, I need you. He's like, he never said I need you, but I would like to see if you actually would take my suggestion in to write your dad a letter.
Right.
So I wrote him a letter in Chillicothe's prison. And he wrote me back because I established JPay and everything. And he wrote me back, and he told me he was sorry. The main reason why he had done all those things to me is because his own father did it to himself, to him.
So what else was going on with him at that time? Do you know any kind of new job? Like you said, you moved from Frankfurt.
He stopped. He just stopped completely working.
Did he have any drug use? Was there any drug use?
He had a really bad Percocet problem. And then after a while, he started hanging out with the wrong people that I noticed, and he started getting in crack. And,
By what age did you know that, though?
I started seeing him doing that about probably 9, 10 years old. After the rape when I was about 8.5 years old, then the beatings start coming along. Like, and I'm not talking about with somebody's fist. I'm talking about like taking a hammer and smashing your hand. Like, I could literally take my hand and do this, and it hurts every day. Everything on my body hurts constantly. I just got accustomed to the pain because of what he done. I had 85 bones broken in my body. I've been stabbed by him in my arm. I've been shot twice in the chest. I've been electrocuted. I've been waterboarded. And when he electrocuted me, he put a damp rag on my face and then put fucking, sorry about my language, but put a damp towel on my face, grabbed the car battery, and then put jumper cables to it and hit me in the temples. Had me go through convulsions and hit me with straight adrenaline in the chest to bring me back.
So when did your drug use really start?
At age of 10, I started getting in. I started smoking marijuana, just to numb the pain. Then at age 11, I started doing pills, because the more progression of the pain I was going through, I needed something to actually take care of the pain. Then I start by, I think, age of 13, 14, I start getting into more harder stuff. I start, how's that word go? Instead of snorting it, inhaling it, yeah. Start with cocaine, and I started smoking crack at age of 16. By age of 17, I was already intravenously using heroin. Just to get the memories away, the screams, the burning smell of flesh. Because there's times that I even, like when I said I got doused in gasoline and set on fire for 1 minute and 35 seconds, then took it out with a fire extinguisher. So I only have first degree burn. So like it could heal. If you put vitamin E oil on you, it will heal.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what he did. I would never wish what I've been through on another human being in this entire world. I don't care who you are. I don't care how bad. I don't even care if you're a child molester. I would never want that on you.
Yeah,
Like, and that's some serious stuff. You know,
Mhm.
like a child molester deserves a really, really bad punishment, but not that type of a punishment.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
You know, like, and it's due to the memories, the trauma, the flashbacks. I have vivid flashbacks. Even when I'm subconsciously awake, I'm not there.
Yeah. I see what you're saying.
Like, I'm physically not there. I'm
trying to look. You're looking for an escape from just your
right.
constant
Yes.
reality.
Yes. And like when I go to sleep at night, the nightmares is just not nightmares. Like, oh, you know, I had a nightmare of something, you know, crazy dream. I relived from the time that he ever touched me to the time that I died.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been from the age of 13 to 15. I died 32 times in my lifetime.
From overdose?
No. That's from the things that he did to me. He just bring me back to life each time. Like when I got electrocuted and was in convulsions, I was dead. Then he'll hit me with adrenaline. Each time I died, he'll hit me with adrenaline.
So you said you wrote a letter to him.
Yes, I just recently did that. I took Jack's opinion on writing a letter and not asking for forgiveness, but just being able to say, hey, I do forgive you for all the things that you caused me, and I'm moving on. And I done that, and he responded like, look, I'm sorry for all the things I've caused you. I'm sorry for all the torture I put you through. I'm sorry that I literally set you on a road that I never wanted you to go down.
Mm-hmm.
And it was crazy. Like, I never thought I would ever have that clarity.
Yeah.
You know, I never even thought in my own imagination that I would ever have the courage and not letting my fear and anxiety get in the way of doing that. Because I always said I would never, in my entire life, never would contact that man.
Right.
But I needed to be free.
Do you think Do you think that it actually is freeing?
Yeah, a lot.
What about it is freeing? How do you feel free from it?
And I know for myself, like with any type of parent issues, I know with that I don't know how I would feel, because like as a parent, I don't care how old I get, you still desire that love from a parent.
Right.
And to have a parent do something, you know,
that dramatic,
as malicious as he did to you, You know, that must have been rough. Like,
It was scary. It was terrifying to actually contact my abuser.
but did it give you that relief?
It
Like,
actually did. For the most weirdest part, like I feel more freer now. I could breathe. Like I could actually settle my mind and have peace in my mind instead of actually always remembering that scream, always remembering those things that happened to me. Yes, it's always going to be there. It's not going to get. It's not going to be like, oh, it's going to be like, oh, it's instantly
Right.
gone.
but you do feel a weight is lifted.
Yes, like there's something about it, and it's very uncommon to me.
Right.
You mentioned forgiveness. What does that look like?
Being able to forgive forgive him for myself, more or less. I don't want. I'm never going to forget what you did to me, but I want to forgive you so I can move forward with my life
Mm-hmm.
instead of actually being a prisoner to that person.
Mm.
I can actually finally let go of the shackles.
Yeah.
And stop sinking, because that's where every time I relapsed. That's why I relapsed. Because the memories get more stronger, and the pain and the vivid imageries get stronger and stronger, and I go insane.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm not like literally like going mentally insane, but like I couldn't bear it. Like
Right.
it gets too overbearing that it feels like I can't breathe. And the relief, yes, it's no excuse. I'm not going to sit here and say it's no excuse, but that's the only thing that was actually common and familiar to me was using drugs to
Mhm.
be able to actually deal with those type of things, because a lot of times I couldn't deal with it, and I'll get too afraid and I'll get too scared because I'm unfamiliar of the relief that it could actually bring me.
Mhm.
And now once I'm actually taking the initiative and taking everybody's opinions and suggestions that's actually coming my way with Bear, with Jack, with Zach, different other people that's actually literally is like, hey, you try this.
Mhm.
And if this don't work, at least you tried it.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
What was there to lose? You don't have nothing to lose. You have everything to gain, but nothing to lose.
Yeah.
And if it don't work, okay, at least you tried. Let's
Right.
try this now. Let's see if this works. And if this does work, keep doing it.
Right.
That's why I never stepped foot in a church. In my entire life,
Mhm.
I never stepped foot in a church until I went to Open Doors.
Yeah.
Like I never in my life always thought like if I go in a church, the whole church is going to burn with me.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like seriously, because like the chaos I caused in this world, like when I was really bad on methamphetamines, like and I was on methamphetamines from I think 7 years. I've been on it.
Yeah.
From now to 7 years ago, I've been on methamphetamines, and I could literally show. And I think I showed you guys the picture of what I looked like.
Yeah.
I knew it was getting to the point that was bad when I literally misplaced 8 ball of meth at my buddy's house. I thought I did. And I literally took him, his wife, his 6-month-old child, and his 3-year-old child, laid them out on the front room floor completely naked, and I was going to kill them. I had my 357 in my hand. I was going to kill them all and burn the house if I didn't find it. That's when I knew it was enough.
Mhm.
That's when I first started getting that treatment, because I knew if I didn't do it, I'm going to cause physical harm to another human being.
So how did your road to treatment start? You said that's what
I looked
that
in
was
the
your
mirror and I
push.
couldn't see myself.
Where did you go? How did you get there? How did that like?
I was in the homeless shelter, right there at old Salvation Army before they moved it at the new place now, over on Eastern Avenue Lumber, where that used to be at. Now it's the homeless shelter. And my first time, it was back in 21. Like I started actually like seeing people dying more. Like when I seen my best friend die in the trap house, and how I seen them die was, I didn't know he overdosed.
Mhm.
I was going to the house because he told me to come over,
Mhm.
and he got shoved out the window, laying between the houses. I tried to bring him back to life. And nothing I did worked. I didn't have the Narcan, so I was trying to get him mouth to mouth and everything to just try to get him back breathing. And something came over me like, look, dude, like if you don't save yourself from this addiction, you're going to end up like him,
Mhm.
or worse.
So from there, where did you end up?
I ended up over at Ed's place. Went, they came. I was over at my uncle's house. I don't know why. I literally had. I got me some methamphetamines, and I had this girl drop me off at my uncle's. I was so petrified to walk up to those doorsteps.
Mm-hmm.
And when I came in, they all sat me down and had an intervention. Like, Corey, you're a mess. You need to get your life together. And, I was going to leave. I was going to leave that night, and I'm like, yeah, I'll come back tomorrow and we'll figure out what to do. My little brother and, my cousins and my uncle was there because that's where my little brother was living. And I pulled out the meth. I was like, look, I'm done. Here, if you don't believe that I'm actually want this, here. And they said, okay, let's go. So that's when Jody Conley came to pick me up and took me to treatment.
When was this?
21. Back
21?
back in 21. And, I was doing good. I did residential treatment, then went to what they called Lawrence County Recovery in Ironton.
Mm-hmm.
Went there, and it was a sober living, 90-day sober living. Graduated that, came back to my hometown. Came back to Chillicothe, where everybody said, Chillicothe's never been good for me.
Mm-hmm.
From everything. Like all my chaos. Not for what happened to me, but what I was doing. And so I decided, okay, I stayed on the run again, stopped reporting my parole officer, started smoking marijuana again, start really going down again, and like a lot of people in the room says, full knowledge of recovery, but armful of dope never mix. It contradicts itself. So I knew I was doing wrong, especially knowing recovery and knowing what I was doing it felt wrong.
But the seed was planted.
Right. So I'm like, man, I gotta get back. So that's what I did. I came back about 6 months later, 6 months to 9 months, around in that time frame. I'm not totally 100% sure because at that time I was actually really losing myself because I didn't know that what I was getting wasn't meth. It was, but it wasn't had wasp spray in it. So I was actually going deranged a little bit. Started hearing voices, like people like hollering out in the distance, need help and stuff.
Right.
So I'm like, oh, something needs to change. So I went back to the recovery council, and once I did that,
When?
I want to say about in 2022.
Okay.
I only stayed for like a month and left completely. And then I went to Hope Valley Recovery. And that was only a 40-day program. I was doing good, I was doing good after I graduated there. That was the end of 22. Because I graduated December 21st of 22 there. And went back home. Lived with my uncle, was doing good, but the day I actually got there, they don't discriminate with marijuana. It's like, oh, we'd rather see you actually do that than put a needle in your arm. So, I'm like, okay. And like my addicted mind's like, got everyone. I knew it. And so I ran with that. But I was working, I was working at Bob Evans. Then they started cutting my hours. And then I just went to Roosters in Chillicothe. Started doing that and everything. And then I started hanging out with my buddy that literally was smoking weed, but on the side was snorting coke.
Yeah.
So I started getting into that.
Yeah.
Being away from my uncle when he was trying to keep me safe.
Yeah.
In his eyes, he was thinking he was keeping me safe. But he didn't know my addiction already kicked in when I was smoking marijuana.
Right.
So after that, I got kicked out. Started being on the run again, just doing my own thing, being on the streets, living on the streets, being homeless, eating out trash cans, whatever I needed to do, tried to survive.
Yeah.
Without trying to rob people or rob out stores. Because I didn't want to get in more trouble than I already am.
Right.
Because I'm on the run from not reporting with my parole officer.
Yeah.
So if I did any more crime, I'm definitely going to prison.
Right.
So, I stayed on the run. Then I don't know, man. I literally went to the homeless shelter where it was still at the Salvation Army out behind Sack and Save. And one day, I don't know, something came over me. Like I literally I was high. I went to the bathroom, did my shot and everything. I was laying in the bed, and it was around like 5:30 in the morning, and I left. And when I left, I had my meth on me, You know, I threw away the needle because I already know you're going to get charged for that. You know, but I had my meth on me. I threw it on the sidewalk. It literally, I walked back and forth up and down that street for 4 hours, contemplating like, should I need it? Oh, no, I don't need it. I don't want it. My demon was fighting me. My addiction was fighting me back and forth. You know, my recovery wanted me to get away from it, but my addiction wanted me to keep going. Like, so I grabbed.
Just one more.
So I grabbed it, because then my addicted mind's like, oh, well, I don't want no kid to get it. You know, I'm like, oh, I don't want that to happen. And that is true. I would never want that to happen. So, like, I grabbed it. I called everywhere to get in treatment. And finally, what's her name? I'm trying to think of her name. It's the main supervisor for recovery counselor.
Mm-hmm. Pam?
No, not Pam. It's, there's, I can't remember her name. But the point is, like, she called me back. She's like, hey, where are you?
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, hey, I'm over at the Chillicothe Transit Bus Station. She's like, stay there.
Yeah.
We're coming to get you. Because they knew me because I've been in their program.
Yeah.
Right.
And that was on February 2nd of 23 last year. That's where my real, like, you know, like, okay, I'm done.
Yeah.
So I was clean for 18 months. Now, you know, I was in sober living. You know, I completed the residential, completed their transitional, went in sober living. That's way more freedom than what you guys provide us.
Right.
You know, way more. And plus, I'm in right that middle town of Waverly.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm working at Burger King and everything. And all the teenagers is smoking dab cartridges. The temptation was already there. One day, you know, I was stressed completely to the max from work, being overloaded. And I decided to, you know, hit it a couple times. Well, that's where it started taking place. Thank God I caught it in time. You know, it was from Wednesday all the way until Sunday. But I started getting more ballsy with it.
Mm-hmm.
I started actually, like, going to group from outpatient, going into group, and hitting it in the bathroom. That's when I'm like, oh, man, dude, I'm really messing up. And my mind's telling me, like, you need to stop. And I even threw the cartridge away. This is the crazy thing. I threw it away over at Bristol's Park. And on my way home, I decided to go back there. And it's sprinkling raining. Went to grab it again. My addiction was like, no, you want that. The whole time I was at work, I'm like, man, because before work, I threw it away. I'm like, this is it. I'm done. I'm just going to, you know, flush out my system before I get drug tested again. Because they only drug tested me twice there. For the whole 4 months I was in sober living, they only tested me twice. So there's already a mistake on their part.
Right.
And my addicted mind's like, oh, well, you're all screwing up.
Right, yeah.
Like, I could probably, you know, do whatever and you're never going to know.
Right.
And once you put one in you, it was obsessive, compulsive.
Yes.
I want it right now.
Right. And so I decided to literally go back to Bristol Park and grab it. It took me 20 minutes in the middle of the dark with my flashlight going around looking for it. Until I stumbled across. I was going to give up. You know, I'm like, oh, I can't find it. You know, this is a sign from God that I don't need it. Then I literally kicked it and seen from my brights on my car shined on it, and I seen it. I was like, oh, there it is. So I grabbed it and went back home. You know, and I kept on. Dude, I was even smoking it inside the sober living house. Right there in front of everybody.
How long ago was this?
Well, I came here on the 12th, that Monday, so the last day was the 11th.
So what brought you? So what got you here? How'd you know?
It was all ultimatum. My girl seen that I was being distant with her the whole time when I was doing that. She didn't know. She kind of knew, but didn't know.
Yeah.
So on Sunday, I was going ahead to my cousin's house to go, you know, smoke some dabs with him. On my way there, I seen my stepdaughter and her in the Hummer right there out at Dairy Queen. So I hurried up and got into Quick Stop real quick. I'm like, oh, I was only going to get something to drink real quick. No, lying on my ass. And she's like, well, your eyes are red. I know you didn't go to your YMCA park. We're going to Rural King. Meet me there. We need to talk. So I go there. And she's like, look, I know you're high. Tell me the truth. Are you high? I'm like, yes, I am. She's like, thank you for your honesty. How long has this been going? Since Wednesday, since you first noticed. She's like, okay. She's like, this is the ultimatum that you're going to have. If you want us to work and us to get through this, you're going back to treatment, to transitional. And if you don't go back and you don't prove to me that you want us to work, then I'm done. I'm done with you. I already told you if you relapse, I was done with you. But I'm going to give you a chance to see how much you really care about yourself and me.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I did. And I told my counselor, and they was like, well, we don't think recovery counsel is good enough for you. You tried it multiple times. You always relapse. Why not try something different? We recommend to see if you want to go reach. I'm like, all right, you know what? Fine. I'll try something completely different that's faith-based, that never looked into my spiritual life.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what brought me here. You know, trying to find a void that I was looking for and searching for
To fill that void.
to fill that void. And now that I'm starting to find it, my life's starting to get. My problem's always going to be there, you know what I mean? But it's not as severe now. Now it's getting lighter and lighter and lighter.
So what do you think has impacted you since you've been here in a short amount of time?
I want to
what's
say,
changed?
like, the day that I got, that week that I was here, and Jack really actually, like, and I told him a little bit of my backstory, like I've been telling you guys now, when he said, can I pray over you? And asked God into my life, and I said yes. Start opening my eyes more. Like, wow, this is actually something that's actually I never did.
Right.
And I had nothing to lose. I had literally nothing to lose. I have everything to gain, but nothing to lose. Why not try something? Why not try these guys' opinions and their suggestions that I never had before?
Right.
Why not try it? Never tried it before. And where that always took me, back to drugs. Why not try something that even my girl even sees in me that I need? And everybody else around me sees that I need. And see the potential I have, but I don't see it. But now I'm starting to see, okay, there is potential in me. I'm okay. I'm not a bad guy. Yeah, I made mistakes in my life that I'm not proud of. But I'm only human.
Mm.
I'm still going to make mistakes. But as long as I don't make the same mistake over and over and try and expect different results and learn from that mistake and actually put it in action,
Mm-hmm.
things will get better. Things can ease up on me. Is there going to be problems down the road? Yes. As long as I actually have my faith in God like I have now. You know, this Sunday I'm getting baptized. I never in my life thought I would ever get baptized in my entire life. Ever even thought of it.
That's
let
huge.
alone speak it into existence. And Jack and Brown is going to be baptizing me this Sunday. You know, even my girl, I even asked, like, hey, would you want to? She's like, I feel very honored that you even asked me to do that. She's like, but I'm super proud of you that you are even taking the initiative of accepting God in your life. And last Sunday, I literally went up to the altar, like, to literally ask, like, yeah, I asked God into my life with Jack. But being in the presence of the church to be able to actually really present my soul and my humanly body to a power stronger than myself that could guide me in the right direction. Am I going to make mistakes in life? Of course. That's
100%.
everybody. That's everybody. I don't care who you are. It could be the most minor thing or it could be the most hugest thing. But as long as I ask for forgiveness and not make the same mistake again and being able to guide in other people's ways that they are showing me the path,
Mm-hmm.
then I could be able to actually learn from people that could be very inspirational to me.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what this whole place is about, is being able to actually find who Corey is.
Yeah.
Not what other people wants me to be, like I always have and been a people pleaser.
Right.
Whatever you want me to do, let's do it. I'll do it for you just to please you because I want you to be my friend.
Right.
I don't care if you want to be my friend or not. It's not about that. If you want to be my friend, cool, that's fine. If you don't, that's fine. There's people in this world that I'm not going to like, and there's going to be people in this world that don't like me. And I have to come to terms with that. Instead of, oh, I have to make everybody like me. Because that's what I always wanted. Always, that's the void that I always had in my heart, in my soul, that I want people to like me because I never had anybody like me.
Or you just didn't like yourself.
Half of that's true. Like, half of that part is true. Like, what I'm saying is you're right about that. I didn't like myself. And I was always bullied in school. And all the way from kindergarten all the way to 12th. That's why I left. That's why I could skip school so much and I got kicked out of school. I was CHS. Because I missed so many days of school. because I was getting tired of getting picked on, getting swirlies, getting thrown in the trash can because of my height. And plus, I was in slow learning disability classes all my life and never knew about it. So they picked on me on it.
I think something that's absolutely transformed my life is I've definitely experienced a lot of pain, and when I hear you speak, I hear a lot of pain. Changing your pain and finding that purpose in it. That's where you have to shift it into, because I've had some painful memories, but now I have a positive outlook on them, and they used to hold negative weight.
Yes.
But now I have a positive outlook on them because I wouldn't be who I am now.
Right, and that's what I'm starting to feel like more. Like, that's why I'm actually here. That's the main purpose why I'm here. It's not about, I want to recover. Yes, I do want to recover from the drugs, but that's not my problem. My problem was me and my mind. From all the scrambliness going on, that's going not even just 100 miles an hour, but it's going to a trillion miles an hour. It's bouncing off worse than a pinball machine. But now it's actually, slowly, gradually being calm. It's right here now. It's more easier to deal with. The memories are always going to be there.
Mm-hmm.
But they're less weight. Ever since I asked God into my life, there's a lot less weight. And I never even thought I would even ask God into my life. I always had resentments towards him, because how are you going to let an innocent child go through that type of chaos, that type of pain, that type of torture, and that type of trauma, and you're supposed to be good? And I always thought he was bad. I thought I was cursed. But really, all actuality, he was there to actually make me strong in those times of times that I never thought I would ever be strong. I never thought I was going to survive any of those things. When he even said, this is going to be our last session, and he grabbed a .22 handgun from me to that stand right over there and put 2 bullets in my chest, I knew I was going to die that day. I knew my life was over. And the only thing that actually came to my mind is, I need to save my brother. I need to save my mom. So I kicked the chair out. And literally, he's like, oh, since now you know how to defend yourself, I'm going to take the most possessious thing that you ever hold unconditional to your heart. I'm going to take this butcher knife, and I'm going to go upstairs and slit your mother's throat, and there ain't anything you could do about it. So I got out of the chair, and that's why I got a stab wound in my whole arm. That's why I got tattoos all over my body, because I cover up the scars. Because I'm tired of seeing them. They keep me going insane every single time I see them. That's why I covered my body up, so I don't ever have to look at them anymore. So, and the main reason why I did drugs is because if the memory goes away, it never happened. I was numbing my whole soul.
Yeah.
I was trying to numb my whole soul completely down. So all that pain, all that torture, all that chaos that was going in my mind of that type of trauma, if it went away and I don't remember a single thing about it, it never happened. But it happened. Every single time the drugs wore off, it became even 10 times worse each time.
Because it's a counterfeit.
Right. Like how Jack was saying today. It's a counterfeit. That's not my solution. God and finding him and seeking him is my solution to be able to deal with the problems that I don't know how to deal with.
Also, everything that you've went through, we can have, as addicts, we can have this selfish idea that it's me. And once you get to the space of realizing that it's not, like, your story is really meant for everyone else.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
It's meant to help people and point them in the right direction of, hey, you don't have to kill yourself. Like, you don't have to think about suicide, or
and
you don't have to hurt
I have
people.
done that. I would be a man enough to say. And this is the most cowardly thing a human could do, is take their own self out. But the voice in my head, the stream in my head, was so overbearing. And see, my big brother was in the Marines for 14 years of his life. Did 3 tours in the Marines. So when he got out, he was my drill sergeant. He taught me things. Like how to disassemble a gun, clean a gun, oil a gun, and reassemble it and being able to fire it. Perfectly fine. So when I had those thoughts of killing myself because the voice was getting too strong, and the memories was getting way too overbearing, I know I have guardian angels on my side because this is why. I disassembled the gun, cleaned the gun, oiled the gun, popped 3 shots off out of a 357 revolver 6-shooter. Popped it off 3 times, put it in my mouth, pulled the trigger, nothing happened. Did that 4 times, pulled it out of my mouth, pulled the trigger, all 3 bullets went off. Reloaded it back up, did the same exact thing, and it still never did anything.
If that's not a message from God saying
That's
that you have a
right.
reason to be here, then I don't know what is.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's bizarre to me sometimes. But you're right about that. That is a message that I have a purpose on this world.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm now starting to figure out what my purpose is. My purpose is my message.
Yeah.
My purpose is people women, children, and young adults or older adults that's actually went through, men and women, that went through the same exact thing. Maybe not the same nature, but the same type of torture and the same type of trauma of the rapes, kidnapping, and all that type of stuff.
Yeah.
I can actually send that type of message to somebody and be able to probably save their life.
Right.
And that's the only thing what we're here for in this world is being able and this is the most craziest thing about this world. When you see somebody fall, you keep shoving them. That's what human beings doing now. That's why this world is so messed up, because once we see somebody fall, we start laughing and ridiculing them and pushing them down deeper and deeper in their own thoughts to make them kill themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of actually picking the person up,
Well, like you said,
holding them and saying, it's going to be okay. I'm here. I see you.
you're not alone.
I see what you're going through.
Yeah.
You're not alone anymore.
Yeah.
Come on, let's go.
Yeah.
I got you. And I'm not going to let you fall.
Amen.
I'm going to hold you there.
That's what's up.
That's what the purpose of life is. It's not about how much money am I going to make? How much people am I going to actually impress? How many people can I get over and what I could get off of you?
Yeah.
What you could provide for me and I don't have to put nothing back into it.
Yeah.
It's not about that. What life is about is being able to, okay, I see you struggling. I see you. I don't just see you.
Yeah.
I see you. I'm not looking through you. I'm looking at you. I'm looking in you. I'm not looking out on you. I'm not looking what you have, what you possess, and what you can actually offer this world. I'm actually seeing your struggles, and I know the pain, and I know what the mind thought of it. And I'm here to guide you in the right direction.
Yeah.
That's why you would be good at that, because the passion that you're bringing when you're speaking even right now about the situation, this is something that you hold dear to your heart, and you can tell.
Oh, yeah.
That's a message that other people need to hear.
See, like how I look at it, and I read a lot about it into it, like Malcolm X and, Martin Luther King, their message and how much movement they made and how much empowerment they actually had. If I can actually make one person survive, then I'm doing something good.
Mm.
I only need to influence one person, and that person can influence another person, and that other person can influence 5 more, just by the message I brought to that one individual.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. That's what this world is supposed to be. Look at all the war and the chaos that's going on in this world. And we're lucky that we're alive. Right now, we are in the depression state of mind now. We're in depression. We just don't know it yet. That stimulus check, once COVID came out and that stimulus came out, we all went to the government because we all went, just like 9/11. You know what the Patriot Act stands for? And I know I'm getting into conspiracy theory, and I know that a little bit. But
You don't have to get onto that, but I know what you're saying. You're saying
the Patriot Act. Once 9/11 happened, we all panicked.
Yeah.
Now we felt threatened. Now we felt like we was actually going through some type of trauma. We couldn't trust out of the United States. So what we did, being stupid and being naive and being immature, we went to our government, and the Bush family literally imposed and imprinted the Patriot Act. The Patriot Act is what it is being able to surveillance all United States of citizens to see if there's any type of terrorist threat.
Mm-hmm.
And Edward Snowden leaked that out because the CIA, NSA, and FBI actually they could even, if you're driving down the road, can actually take a camera and find a reflection and actually still surveillance you. Can hear every phone call you ever made in your entire life. every type of message that you ever did. It's bizarre and wild.
So I mean, it is wild, but I
This world
see
is
what you're
coming-
saying about what
This world's coming to.
what COVID 2020 did, the pretty much lockdown that we were in, the kind of antisocial
Right.
distance that it's created.
Right, we're not social anymore. You know what social is now?
Yeah.
This.
You know, on your phone.
Right there. This is how we communicate with people.
Yeah.
That's it. We do not communicate face to face like how God intended us to.
But that's good that you've gotten to that point where at least you're understanding that. You know what I mean? Some people are just they're
Blind. They're
sometimes
blind.
it's not even that they're blind, it's that they do understand it. They're already they've already separated enough to where it's
they're okay and they're comfortable with it.
Yeah, it's comfortable to
It's
be
something
in that
that's
bubble.
actually
Just like
common.
to stay home and avoid getting
Yeah.
COVID, same
Right.
as stay home, and avoid getting turned down or avoid getting pushed away or avoid
Right.
getting
Rejected. or
rejected.
anything. Yes. And online shopping became the most hugest thing ever since COVID came out.
Right.
Walmart actually closed down at 10.
Yeah.
You know, it's this world is coming to a very, very, and I'm starting to see it. It's coming into Revelations.
Yeah, I don't know about all
It's
that.
starting
I
to.
don't know. I don't want to
Yeah,
go
we're
too.
kinda
That's too
going down-
controversial.
Going down a
we
rabbit
want to
hole.
really say the world. There's a lot of changes happening constantly, and the
But
world
my
isn't what
eyes-
it was in 2020. The world isn't what it was in 2010. The world isn't what
Yeah,
it was in
2000
2012,
and all that.
2004. 2000. It's
But,
changing,
like, I'm
and
just
we're
trying
in a
to-
digital age.
I'm just trying to actually keep my eyes open and trying to help another human being out.
Yeah.
And open their eyes to some things
Yeah.
that they are unaware of. And plus, to be able to save a human being's life.
Yeah.
To not make them actually kill their soul. Because that's what we're doing. We're killing their souls.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
tragic.
It is, but
But it's a freedom of choice if you want it or not.
yeah.
I can provide everything that you want, but it's your choice if you want it. It's not my choice. I can tell you anything. I could talk to you till my face turns blue and black.
Mm-hmm.
But it's your choice and your will if you want what I can give you. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, you would just explain that to us for real throughout your whole addiction. Like how many times you've went to treatment and just
You know, this is my
coming
sixth
back.
treatment.
I mean, and that's why you're even able to say that. Why you're even able to explain that is because you've went through that.
Right.
People need that, and they need to hear that from you.
That's why, like, now, like, thank God it was only from, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, a 5-day relapse. Thank God it was that. Because, I start seeing it start getting more stronger. I'm like, this is not what I want.
Mm-hmm.
I want to actually be free from things, but my mind is not letting me stay free.
Yeah.
I would also just say for that situation, as a pattern that I can see is the several treatment facilities. I mean, I also see
Right.
it because I'm in the same boat. I've went through similar experiences. When you were talking about your woman, you absolutely, what rang to me was that part of you is doing it for her, which that's not wrong.
Right.
But I just don't want you to cross over to the space of like, I'm doing it because I want to be with this woman. Because that's immediately a codependency.
I can see what you're
sign.
going through. I see exactly what you're meaning. Part of that was that at first. I didn't want to lose her. But then once I came here and really actually seen, like, I need to fix myself.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I don't want to lose you. Yes, I want to be married with you. I don't need you in my life. I want you part of my life. That's what I'm starting to get now. At first, yes, I was codependent. Yes, that's exactly what it was. I would be a man enough to say that. But now, I'm seeking myself. I'm not doing it now for everybody else, because that's what I did for the whole 18 months. I did for everybody else to please them,
Yeah.
to make them proud of me. Yeah, Corey, yeah, keep going. And really, it's not that anymore. I want to do it for myself because I'm trying to save myself.
Yeah.
I'm trying to live. I'm not trying to live to die. I'm trying to live to live.
Mm.
I know eventually I'm going to die regardless. That's inevitable.
Mm-hmm.
That's everybody. You get brought into this world to die. That's just facts. But I'm trying to live while I'm here. so I could grow my soul stronger so I could be closer to God. So when I do go on Judgment Day, I might, and it's a might, I don't know. I might be able to be accepted into heaven. I don't know. I don't know. I know my sins could be forgiven, but I want to make sure that I don't have to keep on repenting my sins. Oh, I'm sorry, God, forgive me. Oh, I'm sorry, God, forgive me. Oh,
No, that's gonna be
I know
you'll be doing that till the day you
yeah,
die.
but you see where I'm saying though.
But you want to what you're trying to. I see what you're trying to say. What you're trying to say is you don't want to be.
I don't want to be bought into heaven. I would oh, I'm trying to live a sinless life. I know I'm on sin. It's not that.
The sins they're gonna change. It's not gonna be I was on the street and I stole from this person. Your sins gonna be more so like, Lord, forgive me for that.
Oh man, I just cut off grandma.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. You see,
yeah.
that's what I'm talking about. I want to try to do at least one productive and one positive thing that I did better today for tomorrow.
Yep. That's a good goal.
And what I can actually impact on another human being. That's it. Everything else could flow whatever they want to flow.
Whenever you're just working on yourself, helping others just comes with it.
Right, it comes naturally because I'm trying to humble myself, and once I become humble enough, I can still be able to help another human being out.
Right.
That's what recovery really means. Just being able to be humble enough and having enough. There is accountability for my own actions and my own self, and I have to hold my own self accountable. It's not about that. What is it? Being humble enough to impact another person, be able to help another person, but have the same integrity. That's what it is. Having integrity.
Yeah.
For myself.
That's good. To
not be able to, hey, look at me, guys. Look what I did. Hey, buddy, I helped him. I helped this person. Look at me, Hey, good job, pat on the back. No, it's not about that. I'm helping you. And I don't care if I'm actually having somebody see me like, oh, look what Corey's doing.
Doing it for your benefit, not doing it for my benefit.
I'm not trying to help gain
I'm trying to help you to build you up, not help you so that I can build
myself.
Right,
yeah. And even when I'm helping you, it's humbling me more. Yeah. You see, that's the benefit part of it.
As addicts, though, I have found that you can get in a complex of that you need people needing you. Like you are helping people, and it does help you.
Yes.
But you're actually our addiction was a feeling disease. I was chasing a feeling.
Right.
So then with something like this, I'm chasing the feeling.
And it can become a habit and plus obsessive and everything. It can.
Yeah.
It can. As long as you actually identify it and trying to switch the volume of it.
There's also
and it's hard.
There's problems that you can identify and not even take care of because you
True,
don't want
because
to.
you'd be like, I'm comfortable with that. I'm okay with that.
Or you can rationalize it. Oh, well, I'm not using drugs and I'm not.
True.
I'm just helping people, but I'm helping myself, and I love it because I get this feeling when I help someone that it's the same thing as when I was just using.
Right, because of the dopamine. There is that part too. It can happen that. And sometimes before I was doing that, but I realized what I was doing was people pleasing. And I was doing it for everybody else. That's when I had to put that boundary up.
Yeah. What I've found throughout life is it's maintenance on balance. Everything, if it's in excess or there's not enough of it,
I have to find a balance between
You have to find a balance.
And now, since I've been here for this almost month, I've been finding that balance of maintaining, what is Corey? Who is Corey? What do I need to set the boundary for myself? Not to other people, because, yes, I have to set boundaries with other people, too, at a certain extent. But I have to set boundaries with myself. And it's not about putting the wall up or protecting myself. It's about not people-pleasing people. It's not like, oh, okay, I'll do this so you can like me. Oh, I'm doing this because so I want you to be proud of me. No, screw that. I want to be proud of myself for once.
Yeah.
I want to love myself for who Corey is. And now I'm actually starting to see that. Now I could look in the mirror and say, you know what? I'm not half bad. It's starting to get to the point that, hey, you know what? I'm starting to love myself.
That's good.
It's like a 50-50 of liking and loving myself.
Yeah.
You know, like,
Yeah.
okay, you know, there's days like, I could be a little bit better.
Well, that's what
You
I
know
was
what I
just
mean?
saying. It's that balance, man.
Yeah.
Because we wake up and every day is not the same.
No, it's not. Every day is a new beginning.
Yeah.
That's the whole beauty of your life. You only got 24 hours in this lifespan until you go to sleep. You know what I mean? You really do. Whatever time that you wake up till the time you go to sleep, you only, what can you do from the time you wake up to the time you actually go to sleep, of what type of balance you can bring to the table. And it's not for what I'm bringing to the table for everybody else. Is what can I bring to the table for myself to balance myself so I can actually be able to find a solution for myself, so I could be able to influence somebody else that's struggling.
Right.
And that's what the real purpose of it is. And before, yes, I did have, what you were saying about, what was it? I can't even remember now.
Balance?
No,
What are you
not
talking
balance,
about?
not balance. About the relationship part. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, it was that, and that was even relationship with friends, my family members, even my relationship with my fiance. It was that, I was actually like, I needed you to like me. I need you to be proud of me. I'm doing this. I'm being sober because of you. If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be here. It was that.
Right.
But now that I'm actually realizing it's not that. If you see what I'm doing and you're proud of me, cool. And if you don't accept it, cool, that's fine.
I mean, whatever got you here isn't going to be the thing that keeps you here, but whatever got you here, I mean, it's a blessing.
yes.
Is just take it for what it is. And,
Right,
of
and
course,
move
your
forward.
things are changing as you've been here.
Oh, yeah,
Which-
dramatically.
That's good.
And it's bizarre, it's unfamiliar, it's
Yeah.
uncomfortable,
Which is good.
but I know that's what I need.
Yeah.
If it's comfortable and familiar to me, guess what? Then I will actually be putting the needle back in
There's
my
no
arm.
change. There's no reason to change if you're comfortable.
Yeah.
Right, there's not. Like, if I'm comfortable, then, okay, I'm comfortable for what I'm doing, then, you know what, everything else, I'm going to block that out.
Yep. I'll stay where I'm at. If I don't get any more than this, then I'll be fine with just where I'm at. I'm comfortable.
And it's not that.
It's a
I'm
dangerous
actually,
place to be in.
Right, and it is. And you see, now that I'm actually really, looking in the mirror like, okay, Corey, you're starting to really see Corey.
Yeah.
Instead of actually putting this Joker mask on. That's why I got the Heath Ledger the Joker tattoo on my arm. Because that's what I thought I was.
Yeah.
I was joking myself instead of actually joking everybody else. Everybody else was looking on the outside, looking in, and actually really seeing that Corey's struggling. Corey's in pain.
Yeah.
But we're not going to help him if he can't help himself.
Yeah.
And the only reason why Corey was doing this is so you will like me.
Yeah.
So you will accept me as one of your own and love me. Because I never had love.
And cut. Hola.
We cutting that.
We cutting that.
Thank you, guys.
But for real, no, thanks for coming in. You really, came in to be our test dummy. You ended up, doing something like real
Dude,
crazy
and
for real.
yeah,
Like,
that-
If
that
you
was
want to
raw.
keep doing
Turned it
this, if you guys want to do this, man, we can all have a broadcast us three. That's fine. I like
We're
it.
gonna probably end up just having guys come in and just switching out and telling their stories and pretty much doing exactly like you just did, telling your story, letting us know like what got you here to this point in life and what you've been through and what can you share with others about yourself.
My experience, strength, and hope, and being able to show people that there is a solution. There is hope.
Yeah.
There is literally hope in this world.
Yeah.
And you're walking evidence of it.
Yeah,
That's
we-
what we're trying to
Like
show.
literally, like even the doctor even said I should have been paralyzed from neck down,
Mhm.
literally. And when I literally moved in that bed, because the craziest thing, I died when I was 16. I died 8 times on the operating table from the 2 bullet wounds. One was 3.4 centimeters from my heart. One went straight through my whole right lung. I was suffocating on my my right lung. I was having too much blood. When they was doing surgery, I guess I lost 68.37% of my blood.
Mhm.
The last time I died was the 8th time, and they claimed me completely dead. I already had my toe tag. I was down in the morgue. I was claimed dead for 22 minutes and 35 seconds. I should have been completely a vegetable brain dead, but here I am.
Wow.
I don't know how. I mean, yes, I kind of do now, God, but even the doctors, they had specialists come in, and all like, how are you walking, talking, breathing, and remembering things? Your memories, your short term and long term memory is there. Like how?
That should just tell you you're
Right.
the walking miracle.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, and it's a blessing that I can actually have the opportunity to be able to present my life, and I appreciate that. Like being able to, you guys being able to grab me and actually do this.
Yeah.
It's a blessing.
So let's I think honestly I was thinking of like how we gonna end this. So I think the best way to do this is we end with a prayer.
That would be perfect.
So let's go ahead and enter
yeah.
in prayer. Lord, we just want to thank you for Corey. We appreciate you for bringing us him. We appreciate you for making him who he is. You know, this moment right now wouldn't be the same if he wasn't here with us. And we just want to thank you for that. We want to thank you for, you know, the opportunity that we have, just me and Zach, to try to put this together and create something from it. We want to give the glory to you. We want everything to really shine towards you. And we just appreciate this life you've given us. We appreciate the people that you put around us. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Awesome.
And cut.
And cut.
That was the heck, dog. What the heck? Like, we was gonna come in here and just mess around, bro. Came in here like, nah, this is got to be what it is.
Right. Dude, I have to watch that when it gets all the way done.
I'll tell you right, dude. Good shit, Corey.
Oh, you already know, brother. That's how we're supposed to be right there.
Yeah,
That's how it's supposed to be. Like
that came in very vulnerable and just very
open.
authentic.
That's how you're supposed to be in this world.